that I love you. I'm committing myself to you if I love you. That's a commitment whenever I say that. That means that I'm willing to do something for you. That's a commitment. If I say it and then do it, that's a commitment. And I don't say it unless I mean it. When I say, I love you. That's discernment. Because if we, as a people, learn to love one another, and then actually do it, you don't have to worry about hurting anybody. You don't have to worry about injustice. You don't have to worry about prejudice and racism and bigotry and hatred if we love one another and not just say it, but don't do it.
That's it.
It's real. Now listen, I work with some hard brothers sometimes. Guys that have done everything, including murder. But let me tell you that love is still the most powerful tool and the most powerful weapon that we have in working with. If you don't believe that, they'll tell you. Real, true love in action. That's what charity means, you know. Charity means love in action, rather than just in words. That's my second 20 minutes. Now I'm supposed to talk about the dream, though, and I want to talk just a little bit about the dream. King says the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. We forgot that King also said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. You know, we need to begin to fulfill the dream. When King said, I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Why did King say that? Why did he have to have a dream like that in America? Can you imagine a white man having a dream that his 4 little children would one day not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character? King had to have that kind of dream because of the things that have happened in our country, in America, because of the color of his skin. He had to have that kind of a dream. You know, now I'm not the person that America would have to put out on the front line to fight terrorism in Iran or in Iraq. But I am one of the people in America that will fight addiction and crime and violence and help transform the lives of people in the streets. I'm not a politician, and I'm not a prophet or a poet, and I'm not a priest. I'm a husband, a father, a brother, an entrepreneur, a business owner. But I'm also a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And that is the most significant thing that I do. And wherever I go, whatever I do it in his name. And I know that sometimes when you take an audience like this, a broad audience, that when you talk about religion, people get a little funny. You know, because it might offend somebody. But I want to tell you that I'm not concerned about religion, but I am concerned about reliving. Reliving is what it's really about. And it's not about religion, but it's about relationship. The relationship that you have with God. The relationship that you have with your family, with your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter. The relationship that you have with your neighbor, your community, your city, your state, your nation, and the relationship that you have with the world. That's real. A relationship that's honest. A relationship that has integrity. A relationship where your character is challenged. That's the kind of relationship I think. You know, and I'm going to say a couple other things. People talk about it's time for America to have a conversation on race. You know, and things like what Trent Lott said a while back, Harry Reid, Bill Clinton, Michael Steele, and Barack Obama. Things like that get said. That's why people say we need to have a conversation on race. But no, we don't necessarily need to have a conversation on race because that isn't the problem. The problem is not race. The problem is love and hate. That's the real problem. And that's what we need to have a conversation on. It's love and hate. It's also the needy and the greedy. If we're going to really have a conversation, that's what we need to really focus on and find the answers to those questions. I don't know why in our country we have a need. I mean, what is the real need to be prejudiced? What is it? What is the real need to discriminate and to have segregation and racism? What is it? What is it that we need? Why do we need those things? If we don't need them, why don't we get rid of them now? I need to talk a little bit just about what King said in his I've been to the mountaintop speech. He said, I've been to the mountaintop. He said, I can remember when Negroes were just going around, as Ralph has said, so often, scratching where they did not itch and laughing where they did not tickle. But that day is over, he said. He said, we mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's Word. He said, let us keep the issues where they really are. And the issue, he said, is injustice. Martin Luther King said, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. A dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Now, a dream can be just that and that alone, a dream only. But a dream can be a collection of remembrances of the past. If it is good, it can bring joy. But if it is bad, it can be a nightmare. A dream can be a vision of the future, a vision of hope. A dream can be a vision of faith, the assurance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen with the naked eye, but things seen with the heart, mind, soul, and spirit. A dream can be a vision in which you have so much confidence and faith that you are willing to give everything, even your life for it. And that's what Dr. Martin Luther King did. And if the dream is now, then it's no longer a dream. Hope that is seen is no longer hope. Why does one hope for what he sees come to pass? Barack Obama is President of the United States of America now. Right now. He's president now. It's not a dream anymore for me. It is now a dream that came true. And it makes me want to holler. To many of us, a gigantic part of the dream is now. It is the reality of Barack Obama being president of the United States of America. Yes, I know that some Americans think that that dream, too, is a nightmare for them. Not only because of politics and ideology, but also because of the color of his skin. King said, I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation that they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I know the king assumed that to be judged by the content of one's character is better than to be judged by the color of one's skin. But I have a question regarding that. Although it may appear that it would be better to be judged by the content of your character, there is something that's even more important than that, and that is the one who is doing the judging. What about the content of his character? It don't matter about my character. If the judge is all messed up, if he ain't got no character, it's not going to do me a whole lot of good, regardless of the color of my skin or the content of my character. If the judge isn't judging right, justice and injustice. As I close this, there's something else the king said about the dream that I want to go to. You know, I have enough stuff up here to go forever, but
He can't go.
King said, we have also come to this hollow spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. He says this is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drugs of gradualism. When King was asked by the NBC reporter in Montgomery, Alabama, if he believed in gradualism when it comes to integration, and King said, gradualism is an excuse for escapism. And escapism is an excuse for do-nothingism. And do-nothingism is an excuse for stand-stillism. And he said, no, I do not believe in gradualism when it comes to justice, when it comes to righteousness, when it comes to wrongness. In other words, do what is right and do it right now. Spiritually, though, you can never be right as long as you are hating on people. You cannot be a hater of people and truly love God at the same time. Jesus said you can't hate your brother and love God. The same thing as being a murderer. I say not King, but I say if the dream is now, then we have to start hating on people. It doesn't matter whether we are Jew or Gentile, Protestant or Catholic, Christian or Muslim, male or female, gay or straight, rich or poor, incarcerated or free, black or white, hating ain't right, and we have to stop hating. One more thing. He said, okay, it's time to go. Now is the time to go. So I'm going to just stop and close right here because I got a whole lot more to say about now. Just let me close this with that King note on content of character. One more thing. On the road to Jericho, from down to Jerusalem, that passed by the man that had gotten beat up and left for dead. And the way I think about it is that when that man was left for dead and lying on the road and he saw a priest coming down the road, I can imagine that he said, "Thank you, God." If he recognized the apparel that the priest had on, that he was a priestly man, he said, "Oh, God, thank you for saving me." Somebody. He just knew that the priest was going to help him. What do you think that man felt like when he saw the priest cross over on the other side? The priest should have been a man with content of character. But he crossed over. And then, after all his hope was dashed and he lay there, he saw a deacon or Levite come along. And he said, "Well, I knew, God, I knew you was going to take care of it." Another man with content of character. At least he appeared, it was felt like he had content of character. And then he crossed over on the other side. What do you think the man saw? When another man who should have had tremendous content of character crossed over. And then he saw this ghetto Samaritan coming along. He said, "Well, I forget it. I'm dead now. Right here is going to beat me the rest of the way. Just Jericho." But that Samaritan stopped. He stopped and got off his horse. And he got down beside it. He didn't just feel sympathy or fear. He felt compassion and love. When the other, as King would put it, when the priest and the Levite came by, they may have thought, "What will happen to me if I stop to help this man?" But the Samaritan, when he stopped, he said, "What will happen to this man if I don't stop to help him?"